So let's get started. Now, just to give you an idea as to how pervasive AI is already. Now, what I'm sharing here is a PowerPoint slide, and I've left this particular slide very boring on purpose, and it's just to demonstrate to you how you can get AI working for you right now if you do slides. I know there are tools, AI tools that can create presentations from tools like Beautiful and the like, but the PowerPoint slide is there. It has Copilot and it has some AI features. So if we look at this slide, topics, on the right hand side, you can see some different ideas that AI has given me in order to improve the look and feel of this slide. So if I were to pick one, let's just pick this one, and it's automatically changed it within seconds, and it's given me multiple ideas as to what I could different ways I can present this particular slide. So that's just giving you an idea as to things that you're using right now that have AI in them, and how you can start utilizing that functionality. And it's all about giving you extra time, giving you the edge over the next person. So if you have a colleague that would say, well, this slide's going to take me 2 days to do it, and you can do it within 5 minutes, that automatically gives you the edge. And that's what people will work with, and businesses will work with tend to like. So going back to the slide, so today I'll show you how the best ways or some of the techniques for interacting with AI. So we'll look at some prompting techniques. We'll look at ChatGPT. We'll have a little play around with ChatGPT, and I'll show you different things that we're able to do. Some practical examples of everyday AI, or use of AI in our everyday life. Then we'll look at some key areas where I think AI is going to push within 2025 and beyond. So we'll look at text AIs, of which ChatGPT is one. We'll look at image AIs, of which we'll look at DALL-E, that's come from OpenAI. I'll also show you Ideogram and some other tools. We'll look at audio AIs, where you can create music, use some of these AIs for transcripting your meetings and any sort of session you're involved in. We'll look at video AIs, and I'll give you an idea as to how to create videos with AIs, and some of them are free, so you can play around with them straight away. Then we go a bit more in depth, look at tasks and productivity AIs that will help you with things like project management and business management. And then the final thing we'll look at would be agents. And agents are the big thing. You'd hear a lot more about agents in 2025. It's not so big this year, so you are ahead of most people. What are agents? Agents are their tasks, software tasks that perform actions on your behalf, and they're able to reason on your behalf as well. So when they receive a request, they can handle that request with the knowledge of what you've programmed previously. So it's different from a normal software code where you give them all of the rules. In this case, the agent can actually work out what the rules are. Then I'll share with you a couple of wins we've had with clients recently, just to give you an idea as to where we're headed. Okay, if you have any questions, do please put them in the chat. Okay, so what is AI? AI in and of itself send shivers down people's spines, but what AI is it's software. And if you've used a smartphone, you have used AI. It doesn't need to be something much bigger than that. It's software that learns from examples. So when we say AI has learned, or there's an AI model, all we are really saying is that some software has been presented with some information, and it's been presented with that information so many times that it now understands the patterns. So when you go into your ChatGPT and you ask a question, it is not intelligent in the sense that it's able to work things out all for itself. What it's actually doing is it's combining words together based on probabilities and presenting that to you. So it looks really intelligent because it's been presented with millions and millions of pages of information. It's been presented with text and audio, so it's able to combine all of that and present you with an answer considering all of that information that it has within its head. So when you see it really intelligent and really clever, it's really good at sticking different things that would not normally come together, and that's what we look at and say, okay, this is AI is really creative. But behind everything it's just software that's able to recognize patterns and present that to you. So what are the opportunities with AI? The first thing to think about when you look at AI is your personal assistant. In traditional terms, if you had an office and you're a senior guy, you'd have a secretary. That secretary would be responsible for fielding your calls, scheduling your appointments, and in some cases, writing your emails, writing scripts for you. Now, most of us can't afford a human personal assistant, but we can afford AI. AI like ChatGPT is that assistant, and that's the best way to look at it. So if you're handling any task or you're handling any situation and you don't have any idea as to what you could do, just look at AI and ask it that question. It doesn't matter how you type it, just type it in and have a conversation. And what's going to become even more common in 2025 would be voice communication with AI. So we just speak to the AI and it would respond. And this is not the same as Siri or Alexa. It's a lot more intelligent than that. The other thing that AI gives us the opportunity to do is analyze data, a lot more data than would be possible with the normal person. Now, other areas where you've probably used AI would be like your voice assistant. I've mentioned Siri already. If you look at your phone and you can look and you see the photo apps neatly arranged behind somebody's face, so it's categorized the different pictures behind different people's faces and places. That's all AI. It's recognized, it's looked at the image, it's worked out how many features on somebody's face match all of the other pictures, and it just categorizes them together. And then in the coming years, we'd see self-driving cars in the UK. I mean, it's already in America, and all these things will be part of our normal day existence. Now, what I would like you to get out of this session is to be intentional about using AI. So everything I've talked about is stuff that happens in the background and you don't think about it. But now, if you think about AI as that your assistant, that problem solver, then you start to get the benefits. And think of any problem, just put it in AI. Let it tell you that it can't solve the problem rather than you assume that it's not capable of solving the problem. So how do we talk to AIs? We talk to AIs by giving them instructions. We tell them exactly what we want, and those instructions are called prompts. So if you hear prompt engineering, it's all about the art of creating the prompt. How do we send a message into that big box of knowledge that contains so many different fields and so many different categories of knowledge? How do we extract what it is that we want? That is the prompt engineering. Now, people who know how to do that would get a lot more out of the models and out of the LLMs, even though I think in the coming years you would start hearing things like promptless AIs, which means that at that point AIs have matured to the point where you no longer have to be really knowledgeable about prompt engineering in order to get stuff out of the models. You can just type what you're interested in, and we'll see an example of that. And why does that structure matter? It matters through, if you put the wrong information in your ChatGPT, you will get the wrong information out. That's all it is. They're not clever. They're not that clever. You notice as you use these AIs that within human communication, there's a lot of things that we delete when we speak to people. So if I said to my son, I want you to bring me a plate, he knows automatically that he needs to go downstairs, turn right again, enter the kitchen, open a cupboard, bring out a plate and bring it upstairs. If you say to AI, get me a plate, it doesn't know what to do. It's just going to give you an answer, and people call that hallucinations and mistakes. But actually, a lot of what we get from AIs, they don't hallucinate. They provide you the information based on the knowledge that it has. So it's not making things up. It's just a different combination of information. So you need to give it things like a context. You need to give it things like clarity so that it knows exactly where it's going to get the information from. So I've shown on here on this slide a couple of things that to think about. So if I said to AI, tell me about cooking what, right? Tell me about cooking. If I said to another human being, tell me about cooking, they might give me an answer knowing just based on things they know of me, but AI doesn't really know you. So you say a better prompt would be, list 3 quick vegetarian dinner recipes. So it knows that it's a vegetarian recipe, it knows it's dinner, and it'll present you that information, and it knows that it has to be a list. The next thing is context. So what are the things that you want it to bear in mind when it's giving you an answer? So let's have a look at some examples. And God's will, let me know if you can see the ChatGPT.
Yes, I can.
Okay. So, if you logged into ChatGPT, so you could do chatgpt.com. There is now a free version, so you can go into that domain and you'd have access to something that you can play with if you want to follow along. So the last example I just mentioned is what is LLM. So if I say to this, what is LLM, it comes back. You can stop it from going on and on. So it says LLM stands for large language model. Okay, now if I say to it, you are an expert lawyer, you have been in the legal field for 20 years. Can you provide an answer to this question? What is LLM? Okay. So you can see the answer is completely different. Same characters, same question, but the answer is completely different. So this is where context does matter. So the answer says, as an experienced legal professional, LLM stands for Master of Laws. There you go. So that's the point of having context. So when you see prompts come up and say you are an assistant, you are a legal assistant, or you are an assistant at a hotel, it's trying to shift the brain of the model to focus on words that are around that hotel. So it will pick responses in that area of thought. Okay. So I just mentioned ChatGPT and some of the things that it can do. Other things you can get ChatGPT to do for you is you can get it to brainstorm ideas. As an example, if I said to this thing, I am new to social media marketing. Can you provide the top 5 things I need to do to become an expert in the field? Okay, so now I've said 5 things. Just give me 5 things. I've given it the context of social media marketing, and then off it goes. And then it's going to list 5 different things. So this is just an idea as to brainstorming, getting ideas, querying it, and trying to get a bit more from your typical text AI. So there are many AIs within the text field. You have things like Grammarly that most people already use, and Grammarly is corrects your grammar. It helps you with the tone and the style, and all of these tools help save your time. Now there's another thing that AI helps you do, or ChatGPT specifically can help you do. Now yesterday or the day before, my accountant said, how can I help him with AI? He's tired of, or not tired, but he keeps doing people's transactions, and he needs to categorize all those transactions, and how can I help him with that? So I said to him, can you send me those transactions? Let's see what you have. So let me play around with the transactions he sent me. He sent me a spreadsheet. Let me upload that spreadsheet here. And all he sent me was that spreadsheet. Then I said to him, okay, so how do you want to categorize these things? And he sent me a picture. So let's first of all get the spreadsheet in. So I've uploaded the spreadsheet, and I'm going to say to it, can you summarize the information in the document attached? Let's go. Yeah, that's fine. It's unable to display visualization. So right now it's analyzing the file, and you can upload a certain set of files. I think you can do documents, Word documents, you could do text files, you could do spreadsheets, you could do CSVs, and it's able to analyze all of that information and provide you with some data science type of tools. So it's looked at the spreadsheet. What's it saying? Okay, the total amount in is 312,000. Total amount out is 322,000. Right. So this is it summarizing everything that it can see in that spreadsheet. So it's giving me the top 5 largest income, top 5 largest outgoing transactions, and then here it's giving me options as to other things I could do. Okay, can you show me the highest balances? Let me say, can you create a pie chart based on the information in the spreadsheet? Now, this is not a very great prompt because I'm not really giving it a lot to go on, but it will make something up, and it'll be based on the spreadsheet anyway. So that's that. So my accountant wanted all these transactions to be categorized based on things that he does behind the scenes. So I asked him for the categories so that I can tell ChatGPT to give me that information, and he sent me a picture. Now, that was interesting because that in and of itself is a separate test. Because the other thing that these AIs can do is they can use something called OCR to read images. So this is the picture he sent me, and if I upload that and say, can you extract the information in this photo? Right, so he sat at his desk, he clicked his phone, and this is what he presented to me. So again, this is something that you can do with anything you're working on. Take a picture, put it in ChatGPT, ask it to explain what that picture is, or ask it to extract information, and the information this is going to extract it can use for other calculations down the line. So let's admit something there. Okay, what's it doing? All right. Okay, so it's read through the image and it's basically recreated the information in that image, and then you can go ahead and say, okay, create other things from here, and that's the whole idea of what ChatGPT can do for you and other AIs. Please, if you have any questions, put them in. God's will, please, if you have a look. The other field within AI that is also blowing up right now is image creation. A lot of designers, graphic designers, are worried because most people, for what we need, would no longer need designers or graphic designers to produce images for us, because everything works off of prompts. So if everything works off of prompts, all you really need to do is understand how to send your prompts into whatever model you're looking at or whatever image generator you're working with, and it will give you the information you need. So you can generate really unique images. Because most of these images are generative, most times you cannot produce the same image more than once. So that means everyone's image is unique, and you don't have copyright issues. You don't have somebody getting tired or telling you, oh, these two colors don't work together or whatever. You can just put your idea in, it'll create an image for you, and if you don't like it, you can tweak it, you can change it. And I'll show you some examples. So as an example, if we look at this prompt that I created earlier, so create a modern minimalist logo for a boutique named Moon and Vine. All right, let's go. Let's see what that looks like. I'm just copying the prompt from here. Let's open another chat, and it will know automatically that it needs to create an image. Move this. generating the image now. There you go. So there's your logo. So what we wanted was a logo. It's created a logo. You can tell it to modify things. You can say something like, can you change the it's not type. Can you change the color scheme based on yellow and blue? Let's see what it comes up with. Whilst it's running through that, let me show you some other tools that that are quite interesting. So there's another AI called Ideogram. So Ideogram has some really amazing images. If we go back to their homepage, hopefully, let's go back home. Okay, so all of these images are generated by AI. Now, the USP that Ideogram has is that it's focused on getting writing on top of images. So for many months, most image generators couldn't write text on images reliably. So sometimes you might not get masters mash as you have on here. You get MSTER and then MAS, and it's not quite there. So Ideogram decided that they will tackle that issue, and they've done a fairly good job, as you can see from a lot of these images. So all that is lacking, or all that you need to work on, is the ideas. And if you're struggling for ideas for images you want to generate, you can go to ChatGPT and ask it to give you ideas and to give you the prompt to use in Ideogram. And the other great thing is, some like this tiger with a purple trunk. The good thing is, when you click on the image, on the right hand side you have the prompt. So if you need to create something similar to this, all you have to do is just copy the prompt and take it to maybe another image generating AI, and there you go, you have an image. Now, I mentioned earlier that most of these tools are generative, so it's all based on probability, which means that the next time you run this same prompt, you wouldn't actually get this exact same image. And the people who are scared of losing their jobs, I think, should not be too scared, because to produce this image, you actually have to have some level of artistic understanding, or you need to rely on ChatGPT to give you a hand. So I've just copied this exact same prompt, and I'm going back to ChatGPT, and I'm just going to paste it in there, and you'd see what ChatGPT creates. So the whole thing here is, different models provide you with different answers to the same prompt. So what you need to make sure of is you try the different models, make sure you know different things that exist, and you can try different ones. Now, where the moat is knowing which model works best for which type of characters. So there are models that would do animations much better than DALL-E, for instance, and you've got things like Flux, which is a fairly new one that's able to do most things, most abstract images as well, really, really well. So when you've played around with different ones like Leonardo as well, then you start to get a feel for which one to use for what task. So people who are experts in all those fields will eventually become the graphics designers of the future. Any questions, Godswill? All right, no questions.
So there was a question on if AI can put together a PowerPoint presentation and how much information we need to provide. I think I've kind of responded to that by saying that it can create a PowerPoint presentation for you, but you need to provide the right prompt with the right context and clarity.
Yeah, that is very true. Actually, that reminds me of something I wanted to show us. So now, when we talk about prompts, people panic, and there are other ways for you to achieve the same thing.
So the person is asking if they can see an example of that. So if you've got the time to demo that, that would be great.
Yeah. Okay. Let's give it a go. All right. So you're new to AI. You've never used ChatGPT, or you've used ChatGPT based on prompts that exist online. That's actually a good one. You can search online for prompts that can help you create a PowerPoint slide. So let's say you go into ChatGPT and you just start off a conversation. Hey, yeah, how's it going? It responds, okay, I want to create a PowerPoint slide presentation covering the main issues affecting the economy in the UK. Your task is to create point slide suitable for an audience of secondary school children. Okay, so this last statement I put in there is really to give it an idea as to the tone of the PowerPoint that it needs to present. So if I do that now, okay, so it's now giving me the content for the different slides. Yeah. Okay, so draft and define the spot. So this is Canvas showing me the different slides. So it's now pulling all of this information from wherever, from the data it's got in internally, right? So you've got the content for all of your slides on there. Now you can then say to it, at this point you can say, all right, firstly, do I want to just take this and put that in your PowerPoint, and then you can beautify it the way you want, or you can say, right, let's go back. Oops. Yeah, so it's still there. Let's say, I can say create a, all right, let me just do this instead. Save this information to a PowerPoint file. Let's see if it does that. Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, there are other tools as well that are really good at doing exactly the same thing. But in terms of what you'd want to, take along with you and share with friends and software that most people have, this is definitely one way of doing it. So you can say create a PowerPoint file, and then it goes off and tries to create something. Let's wait for it to complete. Typically, when it would create the file, it would not have like the formatting or designs and stuff like that. So here you go. Here's your PowerPoint presentation on the UK economy. You click this link, it downloads the file, and then you can, and that's your presentation there. So just click on that. Yeah, so UK economy presentation.ppx. So that's your PowerPoint. That's exactly what you need to do. No major prompting, but just what the technique I use here is called prompt chaining. So I started off a conversation, I ask it a question, it responds, and I ask it another question. And each time you ask it a question, it knows about the history. And how it knows about the history is that when the question goes back to OpenAI, it takes all of the context as part of that conversation. So that's another thing to bear in mind, that if you're switching between conversations, you can confuse the AI. So if you went from UK economy to let's say music, then those are completely different parts of the AI brain. So the best thing to do would be to switch, create another prompt, and use that instead. So one more thing I wanted to show you is, a lot of us want to start businesses and we don't know what to do, we don't know how to write our copy or whatever. Here's just an idea as to what you could do. Let's say I want to create outreach messages to my WhatsApp group. The idea is that I want to sell my services. I am an expert property sourcer, right? your task is to create, let's say, an email, the email copy. Okay, and let's go with that. Okay, so it'll come back with something. Hi everyone, if you're looking to invest in properties without the stress of finding the right deals, I've got you covered, blah, blah, blah. So it's given me a couple of options that you can use. So there you go. Some of these are really good. And then I can say, well, I don't like what you have shared. Can you create a set of messages in the tone of Anthony Robbins? I think that's how you spell his name. Okay, let's see what it comes back with. I think most of us know Anthony Robbins. So yeah, let's channel the energy and inspirational tone of Anthony Robbins, motivating. So here you go. Message 1, ignite your vision. Success begins with the right decision and the right opportunity. So if you can say it in his voice, you can send that to them. So this way you start to tailor things based on people whom you like. So you model people whom you like. You should know that AI has read all his books and all the books of all the best motivational speakers and all the books of all the best writers. So it has access to a lot of information that you would not necessarily think of. So if you think of Anthony Robbins, you can just say, all right, present something like Anthony Robbins. If you have an example of a message you want it to copy, you present that to it as well and say, present me a message or create a message similar to this message that I've pasted, and you paste in that message and it'll come back with something that you can use. So the next one we want to look at is audio AIs. So audio AIs, there's a proliferation of different audio AIs. Previously, the king of that whole area when it comes to text to speech was 11 Labs. So text to speech is where you type in what you want the AI to say. So let me see if I've got 11 Labs open anywhere. I think this might be it. Yeah. So 11 Labs here. Okay, come on. Where's the page? Not. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so 11 Labs does something called text to speech. So you type in the text, it gives you the speech back. It can also record your voice, it can clone your voice, and then when it gives you the speech, the audio will be spoken in your voice. So it clones your voice, and then everything you say, everything you want it to say, provided you give it the instruction to use your voice, it will come back with that voice. The other thing that 11 Labs has started doing recently is creating podcasts. So this is similar to Notebook LM, which Notebook LM, what it does is you can give it a PDF file and it will create a podcast out of that PDF file. So if there's any document you're struggling to read, 100 pages, 200 pages, you can just create a podcast out of it. It will come back in Notebook LM, come back with two people having a discussion about the contents of that document. It's amazing. And that's a wonderful way to learn. So that's the other thing that AI would open up to us, is that it would make it easy for us to learn things, study things. It also make it easy for us to be lazy. But the tools are there, and they're there for us to use. So that's, why is this page not responding? I think laptop is doing many things. Okay. We'll come back to this maybe a bit later. Okay, so the other thing that, the other aspect of audio AIs is something called Fireflies. Fireflies is a tool that you can invite to meetings. So if I had invited Fireflies to this session, Zoom call, Teams, or Google Meet, it would be part of the discussion, and what it would do, it would create transcripts of the meeting. So it's similar to some of the tools that you now have with Teams and Zoom, but Fireflies is independent. At the end of the meeting, it will tell you what the highlights of the meetings were. If there are any actions, it would highlight what those actions are, and it will send that information to everyone who attended the meeting. Now, where this comes in handy is if you're having a physical meeting with somebody. So rather than take your assistant who's a human being, you can take your phone, you download Fireflies to your phone, you just say to the person whom you're having a meeting with, do you mind if I use Fireflies to record what we're saying? It will transcribe everything we've discussed, and I'll share the contents with you. And most people will say yeah, provided they get the information at the end. So you just take it along with you and just place it on the side. So you don't have to focus on taking notes. The Fireflies will be taking the notes whilst you're having that discussion. So then you can be present in that meeting. Another area that is quite interesting and intriguing for me is Suno. So with Suno, you can create music, and that music will be based on prompts. So here's an example. So the music that I was playing at the beginning of this session was created by AI. So here's a couple of songs created through Suno. Now, I said to ChatGPT, I want you to create me a battle rap in the tone of Eminem, showing that everyday AI is the best cost provider and everyone else is a time waster. So it came up with some lyrics, and then I put those lyrics into Suno, and this is what I'll play some of the songs, and I'll play my favorite at the end. So here, if you can you hear me, Goswell? Just not, yeah.
Yo, class is in session. All these frauds acting like professors. Let's show them how it's done. Step into the ring, better bring your best. Every day, AI got the crown, no contest.
No contest. Yeah, so everything here is AI. I did not have to do anything. I just typed a prompt, and that's it. And just copy and paste it into Suno, and that's it. So here's another example that it created as well. This one's a bit more gritty. Okay, and then after this I said, well, I don't really want this hardcore rap. I want something that's more in line with Afrobeats. So I said, can you create a song in Afrobeat style? Then after that I did one for Amapiano and just did different styles. And here's what it did for Afrobeats. Sounds right.
See the vibe, we did bring out fresh knowledge on the rise, we no fit contest. Every day, we did top the rest. Other companies they try, but they don't impress. We go teach you code, show you the way.
Okay, so this one I'm playing now is my favorite one. Hey.
Teach them well, teach them right. See the vibe, we dey bring out fresh knowledge on the rise, we no fit contest. Every day, we dey top the rest. Other companies they try, but they no impress. We go teach you code, show you the way. Algorithm smooth like the beats we play. Global standards, we know the delay. From Nigeria to the world, make we elevate. AI for you, AI for me. Every day, AI is the key. Learn on fast, learn on free. Other companies go
Let's get to the chorus.
Oh, yeah, dance, so yeah, move. Every day I dey groove. If you want to just improve. Every day I improve. From the top to the roof.
So I've been playing this since yesterday. I really love this. Now, if those of you who are African here will probably notice that it used Pidgin English as well in the song. I didn't tell it to write anything in Pidgin English, and then it paid tribute to Niger to the world. Amazing. I didn't ask it to do any of those things. So that's all based on the training that it's had. So hopefully from this you can see that we don't actually fully know what's in the model, but we do know that in most cases it would respond to what we ask it to do, and in many cases it would exceed our expectations. So right up to this point, we've looked at text AIs, we've looked at image AIs, we've now looked at audio AIs, and you can already start to think of different problems you can solve just by yourself. If you don't have money to pay somebody to create these songs for you, all you have to do is just go into ChatGPT, get the song. There are some GPTs on there that will help you create the lyrics, and then you paste that into Suno. The music I created was all free, so these are tools you can use now. Okay, so I've looked at that. So the next set of AIs I want us to look at would be HeyGen, so video AIs. So video AIs, essentially, there are different categories as well with video AIs. HeyGen is what I use it for is I use it to turn images into video. So what do I mean by that? I think I shared on my story yesterday. Let's see if I've got this on here. Okay, let me go into Opus Clip. I set something running. Then, okay, so Opus Clip. I just want to have something in the background whilst
So there's an interesting question here that says, who owns the rights to the music created using AI?
You own the right. You own the right. The AI company also has some say, but there's nothing that prevents you. You have full rights to use the songs, to use anything that's generated by AI. But they would also say they would like to have, they would also have rights to be able to use it as well. So you don't have exclusive rights, but no one else can touch it. So yeah, that's a very good question. So what
There's another question that says, is there an AI tool that creates SOP? I'm not sure what SOP is.
Something of SOPs. So that's basically how organizations work, like standard operating procedures. There are AIs that do that, yes. There are dedicated AIs for SOPs, but you can also get ChatGPT to do it. One of the quickest ways of achieving that is if you have an SOP already, you can upload it into ChatGPT and say, can you create something similar to the document I've presented, but this time make it specific to whatever industry you're in. But there are SOP creators, yeah. So I just wanted to, let me see this. Now, when you go on YouTube, Instagram, on all these places, right, you see loads of shorts. This Opus Clip is an AI that creates shorts, right? I've just taken a link from YouTube, and this one I pay for, and then you just say get clips. So what it will do is it will go off onto YouTube, it will download the transcript for this particular video, and then at the end it will show me, it will present different shorts, and then you can use those shorts on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube as well. Let me get us to HeyGen. God's will, how am I doing for time?
You need to speed up.
Yeah, okay, no problem. I'll do this HeyGen thing, and okay, let's go over here. So this is HeyGen. If we go to the home page, we could see different templates. So some of you recognize the avatar on here. So this is one I created for the 24-hour notice that I shared. So this is basically, I typed in the text and
the countdown
and just gave it an image.
Our everyday AI course starts in just 24 hours.
Right. So it's taken just the face and it's isolated the eyes and the mouth, and it's just moving the mouth, moving the eyes, and moving the head. So that just looks like an animation. Right. So this is image to video. So if we go back and then look at other things they've got within their list of templates. Again, it's probably worth mentioning at this point that all these people you can see on here, they are they are AIs, but you can also clone yourself. So there's a concept called digital twins. And this is where you take recordings of yourself and share it and upload it onto something like HeyGen, and then also clone your voice, and then your voice and yourself will be speaking any type of content you want it to do. So this is an example. Let me use this template. See what that comes back with. So lots of these tools have a free tier for you to play around with. Here we believe in empowering sustainable growth. Let's play the video.
We believe in empowering sustainable growth. With strategic insights and tailored solutions, we help you drive measurable outcomes that elevate your business to.
Okay, so this one, with HeyGen doesn't actually move the mouth whilst you're still developing it. You have to submit. Once you've submitted it, it will create something for you. But I thought it had something in their templates that you can use to demo. No. Okay. So on here, you can pick whatever face you want, whatever look you want. There are so many avatars for you to pick from, and you can give it a voice. You can tell it what tone to use. So this one's using an American tone. You can change that to UK. Like my avatar, I use the UK voice for it and a UK tone, something excited or excitable. So that's HeyGen and Opus Clip. Let's see what Opus Clip is doing now. Okay, is it still going? Okay, yeah, it hasn't completed yet. So once this completes, it will come up with a transcript and different clips, and you can change the text within the clips as well. It's also worth mentioning at this point something called Big View. So Big View is a teleprompter. So you can download it as an app to your phone or have it on your laptop, and whilst you speak, it will be scrolling across the screen and it'll be correcting your eye position. So some of us, when we read, our eyes move explicitly, and it's not a good look. But what you can do with Big View is, if I just put this in read-only mode, you just see how the teleprompter works. So you can be reading what you've written on there. If I just press record, and they'll just scroll through, and that's it. You can adjust the speed. Again, this is AI driven, so if you want to create content, this is something that you may want to spend some time investing in. So that's Big View, that's HeyGen. Let's go back to the slides. So there are multitude of things that you can do as well. I don't really want to spend too much time looking at this. I think it's worth looking at some text to video options. So stuff like Pika Art. These guys started off being on Discord alone. So Discord is like a WhatsApp type of tool, mainly for gamers. But here, a very short prompt. Here it says a person is flying in the sky. What does that look like? Can I play that here? Okay, it doesn't let me play. Okay, here you got this one playing. So the camera ascends slowly behind the person. So all of this is AI generated, and you can see the faces look very realistic. There are other tools that do this now. They're not alone. But again, if you want to generate videos for your marketing or videos for your work, for your office, then you can just come in here, get a subscription, and give it a short prompt, and it will create the videos for you. This is a really nice one, actually. Yeah, but you can see the prompts are really short. There's nothing overly complicated with these tools. Okay, let's go. So we're now into the actions and productivity AI's space. So these are tools that will help speed up your daily tasks. Now, I've spoken to quite a few people in the real estate space, and a lot of them tend to complain that they receive too many emails and they don't know which one to handle or which one to work on. There are two solutions to that. One is you could subscribe to something called SaneBox, and SaneBox would log into your inbox and categorize your emails based on what's important and what is not. And based on that categorization, it would push all the important emails to the top so you can react to those. So one of the guys I spoke to, he wanted to make sure he didn't miss bills because bills come through his email, and I recommend the same box. He wanted something automated using robotic process automation, but that is quite pricey, and if it's not going to be a significant business, if there isn't a significant business use case, there's no point going down the route of robotic process automation tools. Sanebox would do it for £20 a month, but these are the tools that he would have liked to have used. The RPA ones, they can study every single email, construct a response for you, and send the email for you if you want them to send the email. But the solution that we've built, it looks at someone's Gmail, it extracts the important emails, sends those emails to ChatGPT for ChatGPT to categorize the email and come up with a reply. And then once the reply is drafted, it'll push the reply into the person's draft, and then send a person a message through Slack so that the person can go and have a look at the draft and either press send or edit the email. It's very important that if you're working with AI that you still have a human in the loop. Having it do everything without any human involvement is very risky. Often, for instance, when it creates emails, it adds a lot of cliches, and sometimes when you receive those emails, you can tell they're generated by AI. With your prompt, you can say don't include any cliches, but sometimes AI doesn't quite listen. It does its own thing. So it's ideal that if you get AI to create your email or create any document or slides, just go through the slides, make sure that everything is accurate and validate it. You can get another AI to validate the information, and they do snitch on each other. So yeah, I've spoken about the same box, about the automation of tasks, and the scheduling assistant. So Trickle is an expert at scheduling your tasks, and is meant to be like a project management tool as well. The other one that's very exciting is Taskade. So Taskade is about agents, AI agents. So these are things that will complete tasks on your behalf. And Taskade provides a portal for you to create those tasks and set it loose to, or let it loose to complete those tasks on your behalf. Okay, so agents specifically, there's a multiple set of ways that you can engage agents. There's the coded way, for which we use something called Llama Index. Llama Index is a framework for agents, and with Llama Index you have the flexibility as a coder to be able to specify exactly what you want the agents to do. You give it, you can create a hierarchy of agents where you have a parent agent that determines what the child agents do. It's quite wonderful when you have it working. So as an example, we're able to build teams of voice agents, and within the teams of voice agents, you'd have the head receptionist that will receive a call, and then determine based on the tools that you've provisioned which department to send the calls to, and those departments are other agents, right? And I'm going to do a video on this for my LinkedIn post so that you can see how that works. But the reason you'd want to do something like that is, I mentioned earlier that AI, ChatGPT, all these tools and prompts, they like clarity. When you put too much information in your prompt, it starts to confuse the AI. Confused based on it then has many tangents that you can take. So I prefer to have one clear task for it to complete. So in the case of a parent agent that has child agents, picture a receptionist receives a call and you want to talk about a refund. It should send it to the finance department, and that finance department agent would be another AI agent that's handling just finance issues. If it's a HR call, it should send it to the HR department, which would be another agent, another AI voice that's handling that sort of request. Okay, so here are some things that we've built for clients in the past. Retrieval augmented generation, that's a term within AI that simply means that you can upload PDF documents, policy documents, any kind of domain specific knowledge that you have within your organization, upload it to a portal, make that the knowledge base of the AI, and people can ask questions of that knowledge base. So if you had a 200-page document, or you've had 500 PDF files that contain different aspects of information, you can use your chatbot solution to then query the AI, and then behind the scenes you have this RAG solution just creating the responses for you. So that's something we built for somebody in the last mile parcel delivery space, and that's currently with that business in the validation stage. So the benefit is 24/7 you have something that can respond to your clients or to your customers, and you can serve customers from any part of the world. And the other thing to be aware of is AI doesn't just know English, it knows other languages. So you can get it to respond in other languages too. So all of a sudden you can serve multiple people and multiple types of clients. And pretty much everything I've talked about up to this point does have an alternative language aspect to it that you can also trigger. So the next one is a voice agent for real estate. So let me play something here that might be interesting. Is this the number? Can you hear Goswell? Can you hear?
The sound is not clear.
It's not clear. Let's turn this up.
Hello, Simon West. You are through to Hamilton James Estate Agency. My name is Sarah. Thanks for calling back. Last time we spoke, the call ended before I could gather all the information we need to book your viewing for 5 Terrace Road, Belsize Park, London, NW3. Is this why you've called back?
Yes, Sarah, that's why I've called back.
Great. So, let's get this appointment booked. First, can you confirm your contact number for me?
You already have my contact number.
I do have it, but just to make sure everything is accurate, could you confirm it for me?
It's accurate. Can you carry on, please?
All right, no worries. The information I have is your name is Simon West.
Yeah.
Property address is 5 Terrace Road, Belsize Park, London, NW3. Viewing date is May 23rd, 2023. Is that all correct? If so, let me check our availability for that date. If that date isn't available, we can pick another.
No, can you do December 20th, 2024, please? 2 p.m.
Hold on a sec. Great. December 20th, 2024 at 2 p.m. is available for booking. I'll go ahead and book that date for you. Can you confirm your email address for the appointment?
No, I don't want to give you my email. Thank you.
Hold on a sec.
Okay,
Your viewing is all set for December 20th, 2024 at 2 p.m.
Okay, so that's it. And I'm sure you heard that ping come in. That's it, sending me a text message to confirm the booking. And within that text message is a self-booking link. If I want to change the appointment myself, I can just click that link to change it. In the background as well, it will send me a WhatsApp message. So all of these things can be happening whatever time of day or night. And estate agents are starting to use this type of solution depending on the type of estate agent. Some estate agents that deal with high net worth individuals right now say they'd rather use humans, but they will consider this for property management. So if you've got tenants at night, something happens and you want them to be able to speak to a builder, you can give them a number that has an agent behind it. They'll speak to the agent. The agent will take all the details and then send what it needs to send to the builder and then or the handyman, and all of that will happen in the background. So that leaves you happy, you get some sleep. It leaves your tenant happy because they feel someone's dealing with it. They receive information that things are happening, are processing in the background. So those are a couple of things that I've worked on recently. So let's talk about automations. I mentioned earlier about robotic process automations, and these automations are things like Make and Zapier. They are there, like this phone call that I just completed had Make behind it as well, and that Make was what triggered the email, the text message to be sent. So the phone agent sent a notification to Make, and then Make sent me the text message. So we build all these things together, and we string the right tools and right workflows into something that works for any business and most businesses. So that's where we're up to. That's everything I've got on my side. What's left for me to do is pass back to God's will. God's will, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you so much, Owa. How do people feel about what they've heard so far? Have you learned anything new? Do you feel excited? Just type on the chat how you're feeling right now. For me, I think I'm feeling a bit scared because I don't know what's coming tomorrow. AI is threatening people's jobs, is threatening the way the world is going. Things are changing really, really fast. So as you can tell, there's so much we can cover on this training. We've only done this for an hour, but there's so much that can be talked about, right? So what are the next steps? What are the things that you can do next? Or can you click on the slide, please?
Yeah, sure.
So there's opportunity for you to learn more, right? You can decide that you want to learn more about AI. You can decide to go in any of the directions that Owa has talked about. So one of the things that you can do is to do a self-study. Pick any tool from what Owa has talked about and just go back and study by yourself. Learn how to use that in your workplace. Learn how to apply that in your own personal life. Or you can say, well, I need somebody to teach me. I need somebody to help me with this AI to be able to dig a bit deeper. Owa has put together a 12-week AI skills journey that you can come on. Is going to start sometime in January, and I'm going to talk about that a bit more. But before I talk about that, there are other things that you can do. Let us help your business, right? So Owa has just talked about some of the businesses that he has helped, some of the tools he's built for different businesses. So if you're running a business and you think that your business can do with some AI automation, reach out, become our client. Owa is available to help you develop a tool that can make your life easier, make your work easier, make your business run 24 hours, even while you're sleeping. So that's one of the things that you can do. And if you don't have a business, the other thing you can do is check out your friends that have businesses that need help, that you think that they need what we are offering, and reach out and we'll be able to help your friends. Okay, so everybody on this call today is either a friend or a family member, right? So we've decided to open this up to our friends and family members, people in our community that we know will be able to use what we are talking about today. This has not gone to the public, right? So we thought this is an opportunity for us to teach our community members, our friends and families, what we know about AI and get some feedback. So if you don't come on a course, if you don't have a business that you want us to help you with, if you don't have family members that can benefit with it or friends that can benefit with this, just give us feedback. Tell us how you found the course so that we can improve on what we are doing. Okay, I'm sure you can take any of those 4 steps. Now I'm going to talk a bit more about the 12-week journey that we are presenting to you. It's going to be flexible, progressive learning, right? So you have the opportunity over a 12-week period to learn a bit more on everything that Owa has talked about. All the tools that he mentioned, he's going to go in depth into each and every one of them, teaching you how you can use them, teaching you how you can apply them in real world situations. So if you would like that, then don't log off, stay tuned, and we will tell you what you need to do to be able to do that. Okay, can you go on the next slide, please? So the first week is going to be talking about text mastery. So it's going to be looking at ChatGPT, Pillbot, Grammarly, etc. Teaching you how to use those things, how to prompt them effectively to be able to use them in your everyday life, in your work, and in your business. Week 2 is going to be talking about idea generation, how you can use AI to generate fresh ideas that you can use in your businesses, use that for brainstorming, use that in different things that you do for yourself. Week 3, he's going to be looking at different image generation tools. He talked about Ideogram today, talked about Leonardo. Again, he can spend some time with you, teaching you how you can use some of these things. Okay. And then week 4, we'll be looking at audio essentials. I'm looking forward to this myself because that music, it was amazing, right? To even consider that AI can speak pidgin is mind blowing. So yeah, if you would like to learn a bit more on that, then OWA is offering something that can help you. Week 5 is going to be looking into visual storytelling in action. Again, looking at how to combine image and text AI to be able to produce persuasive presentations. So somebody asked earlier about using AI to generate presentations. On week 5, Owa is going to be spending a lot of time just walking you through that, different ways you can prompt AI to be able to get what you're looking for. And then week 6 is going to go into video tools. I'm not going to explain all of this in detail because of time, but week 6, video tools. Week 7, structuring your AI content workflow. Again, it's going to be covering that. Week 8 is going to be looking into chatbot building. How you'll be able to build your own chatbot to help you in your business. Week 9, he's going to look at productivity boosters. Same box he talked about today. Week 10, he's going to go into integrating multiple AI tools. He talked about agents. He talked about how he's built an agent for a property development business. So if you want to learn some of those things, he will be teaching that in details. And then he's also going to be covering how you can personalize some of these applications just to work for you in your business. And he will help you to review what you've learned, reflect, and plan ahead. Right. So this is what OWA has put together. Is going to start in the first week of January. We've looked at the value of what he's doing. We think that it's going to be around 3,599. But don't worry, you're not going to be paying that. We're not expecting you to pay that. When we go public with this, we're going to be charging people in the public around £299 for this. But again, because this is family and friends, this is not what we're going to be asking you for. We will be asking for friends and families only £99 for this, for the training. It starts in January, and by January, we will be offering it to the public. So you will not be the only one on the call. We'll be having many other people on the call on that training. But they will not get it at the same price that you're getting it today. So that's what we have for you today. If you're interested, the link to be able to register for this is besteverydayai.com/learn. Just go on there and then you can register and you'll be on the course straight away. You'll see a message there that OWA has already put together for you, and that will take you forward. Okay, so that's what we have prepared for today. If you're interested, just go ahead and register. Any questions? So I can unmute people if you signify that you have a question, and we'll be able to bring you on to ask your questions, or you can just type your question on the chat. Somebody's asking, please share the link to register. I can put that on the chat. It is everyday. Oh, can you go back to that slide, please? Everydayai.com, besteverydayai.com/learn. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for that, Goswell. Do we have any questions?
Somebody's asking, will there be a certification at the end of the training?
There is no certification at the end, but you will receive an attendance confirmation document which isn't quite a certification, but something to confirm that you've been through that process and you've learned the tools.
Somebody's saying, can you summarize all what you have said on our email? I'm not sure I understand that question. Do you mean summarize the training on an email or the offer? So if you go on the link that we'll send to you, it will have details of that on there. So somebody else is saying, after the 12-week program, will you be able to freelance on something?
100%. So the thing is, right now, I did a course in Oxford, University of Oxford, going through this AI stuff, and my lecturer there said to me that right now everyone is new in this space. There's nobody who can say they are the biggest name and they're the ones writing all the books. Everyone is new, everyone's still learning. So what that means is that those of us who have picked up the mantle and started creating things can show and demonstrate through the things that we have created that we are the experts essentially. So this type of opportunity comes once in a while. I mean, there are many people who are trying to come up to speed. So if you go through the 12-week course, before, within the first 2-3 weeks, you should be able to go out there and start to demonstrate what you're doing and start to win business. The whole thing is, right now, there are people who don't even know what ChatGPT is. I kid you not. They don't know what ChatGPT is. And those of us who know, we're trying to educate as many as we can. Many would not learn. Many would rather you did the work for them if you demonstrated to them how the skills that you've learned can help their business. Most businesses just want to make more money, and if you can help them make money or save time, you will be in business. So yes, you can start to showcase your skills and hopefully get paid.
Yeah, so there are a few more questions here. Somebody's asking if you can get a copy of the recording. Yes, I already answered that earlier, and you will get an email with a link to the recording of the whole session today. There's another question about the program schedule. So it will be every week on a Tuesday, 8 p.m., starting from the 7th of January. So the first lesson week one is on the 7th of January, 8 p.m. on Tuesday. And then it's going to be every Tuesday for the next 12 weeks. Okay?
Yeah. And it's for an hour. And what we're doing that is slightly different is even after the 12 weeks, you can carry on attending, because we'll be doing blocks of 12 weeks. You'd have all the recordings as well. And as the tech improves and changes, because this space is constantly changing. As it changes, the courses will be updated to reflect that. And the whole idea is also for the sessions to be hands-on. You can ask questions, we can work together, learn together, and improve each other's understanding of this space.
Any other questions? Okay, if there are no other questions, we probably can start wrapping it up. You've got the link. If you want to jump in, please do. That price is going to change very soon if people don't jump in, because once we open it to the public, it's not going to be at that price anymore. All right. Any last words or any questions from Waxy, from anyone? Any questions?
Yeah, there've been some really good questions. There are no stupid questions. We're all learning at this stage. So if there's anything that isn't clear, also feel free to send us an email, and we'll pick it up. So really appreciate this session. It's been fun. Hopefully it's been fun for you too. And yeah, good luck.
Before you log off, guys, please, if you've learned something new today, please say thank you to Waxy, even if you don't go on the call. Appreciate him for his time doing this. It's been a lot of work coming, spending so much time preparing the slides and putting together all this. Please say thank you to Owa.
Okay, that's great. Also, actually, if there's anything that stood out for you, just also put that in the chat so that we know um, what's resonated the most. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Nina. Thank you, Minna. Thank you, Desiree. Thank you, Peter. Peter. Thank you, Remy. Oh, wow. Thank you, Cyril.
And
Thank
if
you,
you need to reach
David.
us at any
Thank you,
point, feel
Derek.
free to email info@besteverydayai.com, and you can always reach us via that link. Okay?
Yeah, it's on the screen, I think. Yeah, it's on the screen now.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's been a wonderful session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. Have a good evening. Speak to you all soon. Cheers.